Good morning, everybody. Today I am going to discuss an important part of English grammar, that is clause. Please watch this video up to the end. Clause. What is a clause? A clause is a part of a sentence with a subject and a finite verb. In another word, we can say a clause is a group of words with a finite verb. Again, we can say a clause is a part of a big sentence with a subject and a verb. Classification of clauses. There are three types of clauses. First one, principal clause or main clause, subordinate clause or dependent clause, and coordinate clause. Principal clause or main clause. The clause which does not depend on other clauses is called principal clause. Structure of principal clause: subject plus finite verb plus etc. or etc. Example: he said that Ram was ill. Here he said equal to principal clause. Another example: he told me that he would not do that work. Here, he told me equal to principal clause. Principal clause. Next, subordinate clause or dependent clause. The clause which depend on other clause is called subordinate clause. The clause which depends on other clause is called subordinate clause. They are not independent. Structure of subordinate clause. Subordinating conjunction. At first you have to use a subordinating conjunction plus subject plus finite verb plus etc. Subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are that, who, which, what, where, how, when, as, because, if, though, etc. Example: he believed that Ram was an honest boy. He believed equal to principal clause. That Ram was an honest boy equal to subordinate clause. That equal to subordinating conjunction. Kinds of subordinate clauses. Subordinate noun clause or nominal clause, subordinate adjective clause or relative clause, and subordinate adverbial clause. So there are three kinds of subordinate clauses, subordinate noun clause or nominal clause, subordinate adjective clause or relative clause, and subordinate adverbial clause. Subordinate noun clause or nominal clause. The clause which works like a noun is called a noun clause. So a noun clause works as a noun. Use of noun clauses. Subordinate noun clause used or may be used as a subject to a verb. Examples: that the earth moves round the sun is known to all. Analysis of the sentence: that the earth moves round the sun within bracket is known to all. Principal clause. So the principal clause is just is known to all. This is the principal clause. That the earth moves round the sun, subordinate noun clause used as a subject to the verb is known. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. Now, second types, object to a verb. A noun clause may be the object of a transitive verb, just like a noun. A noun clause, like a noun, may be the object of a transitive verb. Example: I know that he will help me. Analysis: I know equal to principal clause. That he will help me, subordinate noun clause used as an object to the verb know. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. Object of a preposition. A noun clause may be an object of a preposition like a noun. A noun clause, like a noun, may be an object of a preposition. Example: you should listen to what your father says. Analysis: you should listen to equal to principal clause. What your father says, subordinate noun clause used as an object of the preposition to. Okay. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. Complement to a verb. A noun clause may be a complement to a verb. Example: this is what I expected. Analysis: this is equal to principal clause. What I expected, subordinate noun clause used as a complement to the verb is. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. In apposition to a noun or pronoun it, a noun clause may be in apposition to a noun or pronoun it. Examples: the news that Rambabu died is not true. Analysis: the news is not true equal to principal clause. That Rambabu died equal to subordinate noun clause in apposition to the noun news. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. Adjective clause or relative clause. An adjective clause does the work of an adjective. As an adjective, it qualifies a noun or a pronoun in the main clause. An adjective clause does the work of an adjective. As an adjective, it qualifies a noun or pronoun in the main clause. An adjective clause is introduced by a relative pronoun and relative adverbs. Which are the relative pronouns and which are the relative adverbs? Relative pronouns are who, which, that, as. Relative adverbs are when, where, why, how, whence, as, etc. Example of adjective clause. This is the man who came here yesterday. Analysis. This is the man equal to principal clause who came here yesterday, subordinate adjective clause qualifying the noun man in clause A. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. Structure 1. First structure. Subject plus verb plus object. Noun, pronoun or antecedents এগুলো. Object. The object. Here the object must be a noun or a pronoun. This is called antecedent. Plus subordinating conjunction plus subject plus verb plus etc. So subject plus verb plus object plus subordinating conjunction plus subject plus verb plus etc. Example. I know the boy who is sitting under the tree. I know the boy, principal clause, who is sitting under the tree is subordinate clause. Subordinate adjective clause. Structure 2. Subject plus subordinating conjunction plus verb plus etc plus verb plus etc. Example. The dog which barks does not bite. The dog. Subject. Which barks, subordinating conjunction which plus verb barks plus etc plus verb does not bite, verb form. Analysis. The dog does not bite, principal clause, which barks, subordinate adjective clause qualifying the noun or antecedent dog in clause A. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. Some special structure of adjective clause. Time plus when equal to adjective clause. Place plus where equal to adjective clause. Reason plus why equal to adjective clause. Way plus how equal to. I know the time when he will return. Time plus when. I know the place where Netaji was born. I know the reason why Sushanto did it. Reason plus why. Tell me the way how he did it. Subordinate adverbial clause. Definition. The clause which works as an adverb is called adverbial clause. Like an adverb, it modifies some verb, adjective or adverb in the main clause. Classification of adverbial clause. Adverbial clause of time. Adverbial clause of time is introduced by when, while, after, before, till, until, since, etc. Examples. He saw me when I was going to school. He saw equal to principal clause. When I was going to school, subordinate adverbial clause modifying the verb saw. Therefore, it's a complex sentence. Another example, wait until we return. Strike while the iron is hot. Subordinate adverbial clauses of place. Adverbial clause of place is introduced by where, whence, wherever, etc. Examples: stay where you are. Stay principal clause where you are equal to subordinate adverbial clause modifying the verb stay. Second example, you may go wherever you like. You may go equal to principal clause wherever you like subordinate adverbial clause modifying the verb go. Adverbial clause of reason. Adverbial clause of reason or cause is generally introduced by because, as, since, that, etc. Examples: he could not go to school because he was ill. Another example, as he was ill, he could not attend the meeting. Adverbial clause of purpose. Adverbial clause of purpose begins with that, in order that, so that, lest, etc. Examples: we eat that we may live. Another example, he works hard in order that he may pass the examination. Next, subordinate adverbial clause of result. Adverbial clause of result is introduced by that, so that, such that. Examples: I am so weak that I cannot walk. Another example, it rained so heavily that I could not go out. Adverbial clause of manner. Adverbial clauses of manner are introduced by as if, as though, etc. Examples: go as you like, as you sow, so you reap. He behaved as if he knew everything. Adverbial clause of condition or supposition. Adverbial clause of condition or supposition are introduced by unless, if, in case, whether, provided, on condition that, etc. Examples: if it rains, I shall not go to Kolkata. I shall not go unless you come. You will be selected provided you are eligible. Adverbial clause of comparison or degree. Adverbial clause of comparison or degree are introduced by so as, than, etc. Examples: Ram is better than Sam. He is as tall as Ram. Ram is so tall as his brother. Adverbial clause of concession or contrast. Adverbial clause of concession or contrast are introduced by though, although, even if, etc. Examples: though he is poor, he is honest. Although they were present, they said nothing. Even if I fail, I shall not give up hope. Look at the diagram. In this page, I have tried my best to show total clause in a chart. If you are satisfied with this video, please share and subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching the whole video. Again, thank you. Thank you very much.